Hi everyone, it is Alex with Holistic Movement Pilates. Today I have a reformer workout for you using weights. I'm going to go ahead and grab a set of 5s. I would go anywhere from like a light to a medium set of weights. We're going to use them for arms, abs, and then feet and straps today. So all over, light to medium. Again, I have a set of 5s today. We're gonna start on one heavy, one light spring, foot bars all the way down, and then we're gonna go ahead and lie ourselves down. Now, when we get down, we're gonna have our weights into our hands. We are going to incorporate them with our hands and straps and with our core work today. So I'm just gonna set my weights on my stomach or at my sides, really doesn't matter. We're gonna reach behind us, grab our short loops into our hands to start. And then once we grab a hold of our short loops, we're gonna go ahead and grab our weights in our hands. Now, when I have my straps in my hands, I'm gonna rotate so that my palms are facing each other. They're not facing my foot bar, so I'm rotated so my palms are facing each other. My arms are gonna go straight up to the ceiling, hands right over my shoulders. Again, weights in hands, neutral spine, knees are gonna go up into our tabletop position. We have our legs zipped together. Now on an exhale, I'm just gonna pull my arms straight down towards my hips, and then on an inhale, I'm gonna return back up and adjust your weights and straps if you need to. We're exhaling to pull straight down. We're inhaling to return back up. If this ever becomes too much, you can always go ahead and switch to your long loops instead of your short. And then if you don't want to use the weights, you don't have to. We're exhaling to pull straight down. We're inhaling to return back up with control. And as always, I'm thinking I'm scooping into my low abs every time I pull my arms down towards my hips. Now, the next time I press my arms down to my hips, I'm gonna hold them there, palms still rotated towards each other. We inhale to open our arms out to a T. I'm exhaling to press my palms back to my hips. So inhale out to a T, exhale, palms to hips, inhale, open, exhale, press. I'm drawing my abs in and up as I press my palms to my hips. Again, inhale out to that T, and then again, exhaling as we press those palms to the hips. We want to feel our lats and our biceps engaging on the press. We're going to go ahead and do 2 more. Last one. And then when we press our palms to our hips, we're gonna hold, we're gonna do a combo. So we reach the arms up to the ceiling to start. We pull down to our hips on our exhale. We open our arms out to a T, and then we exhale to press down to our hips. So we inhale to go up to the ceiling. We exhale to pull straight down. We inhale to open out to a T, and then I exhale to press to my hips. Inhale up to the ceiling. Exhale, pull down to the hips. Inhale out to a T. Exhale back to the hips. We're gonna do a few more of those, maintaining our neutral spines the entire time. Again, those weights are just adding in a little extra work for our arms today. Now, this is the last series. Open, press, and then return back up. Now, once we come back up, I'm gonna relax my feet down. I'm gonna relax my arms at my sides. Adjust your hands in the straps if you need to. Adjust your hands on the weights if you need to. And then we are going to keep our arms at our sides. We're gonna keep our palms rotated towards each other. I'm gonna bring my knees back up into a tabletop position. My legs are zipped together. I'm bending my elbows now for a tricep press, and I'm exhaling to press my palms down. Inhale, bend. Exhaling as we press. Triceps can either hover off the carriage or they can be relaxed down. If they hover, it just makes it a little more challenging. Inhale, bend for that tricep press, and exhaling as we press our palms back down to the mats. Let's go ahead and do 3 more. 2. All right, now on this last one, when we press, we're gonna hold our arms at our hips. We're reaching our arms now back up to the ceiling. We pause. We bend our elbows into our tricep press, and then we're pressing our arms all the way down. So I reach straight up to the ceiling, bend my elbows into my ribs, press my palms down to the mat, reach back up. So it's like a tricep circle. We bend, we press, we extend the arms back up. We bend, we press, we reach the arms back up for those little tricep circles. Feeling those biceps really engaging as well. Now, the next time we extend the arms up to the ceiling, we'll pause, and now we reverse that movement. So we pull our arms all the way down towards our hips, we bend the elbows for that tricep press, and then we reach them straight up to the ceiling. So I pull down to my hips, I bend my elbows, I extend them straight up to the ceiling. Exhale, pull, inhale, bend. I can keep that inhale as I extend. Exhale, pull. Inhale, bend, extend. Keep those legs zipped together. Again, just make sure that you're not collapsing into your low back so we're able to hold that neutral spine. Exhale, pull. Inhale, bend, extend. Let's go for 3. And then last one. Now, once we extend the arms back up, we're gonna relax the feet down. We can relax our arms at our sides. Feel free again to adjust your hands in the straps, adjust the weights. Last thing that we have with our weights in our hands will be our arm circles. So I'm gonna extend my arms back up to the ceiling. Palms are still rotated towards each other. Knees go up into a tabletop position, legs are zipped together. We press the arms down to the mat. We open them out to the sides to circle around and back up. I'm exhaling to pull straight down. Inhaling to circle around and back up, not going past my shoulders, and then just feeling that movement coming right from the shoulders. Arms are along for the ride, but you should really feel your arms working here to hold those weights. Let's go ahead and do one more. Then when I pull my arms back down to my hips, I'm gonna pause and reverse. So now I go up to the ceiling, out to the sides, and I exhale to press to my hips. Inhale up, out, again exhaling as I press my palms to my hips. Really feeling these extra 5s for our arm work today. Keeping the legs zipped together. I'm keeping my bra line heavy down into my carriage so my ribs aren't lifting up off the carriage. We're gonna do 2 more. And then last one. Now, when we come back up, we're gonna relax the feet down. I'm going to just go ahead, set my weights down, and then we're gonna hang our straps back up onto the pegs. Now, when we hang our straps up, we can grab our weights. We're gonna sit to the left side of our reformers. And then once we sit off to the left side, we're gonna do 1 medium spring, and then that heavy and light will come off. So again, 1 medium spring on your reformer, stand to the left side. We're gonna face our reformer. Weights are in our hands. I'm gonna step onto my wooden platform with my left foot first, so the non-moving piece. And then I'm gonna step up onto my carriage with my right foot. Now, we're just on a medium spring, which is a little heavier than what I usually have us at. So it's easier to go out and in. If you wanna make this a little more challenging, you can always have your right foot a little further out. Arms are gonna be at our sides. We're inhaling to push the carriage out with the legs. As we do so, our arms are lifting out to a T, not higher than that T. And then we're exhaling to pull back in with our inner thighs. So I inhale to push the carriage out. I'm lifting my arms up. And then I'm exhaling to pull back in, using my adductors to pull the carriage back in. Again, the wider the stance, the more challenging for our inner thighs. Inhaling as we push, exhale to pull back in. Let's go ahead and just do 3 more after this one. I wanna feel those deltoids and traps working when we lift the arms. Inner thighs working to pull us back in for 2. Exhale back. And then last one, push and pull. Okay, now once we come back in, we're gonna keep the right foot on the carriage. We're gonna rotate towards our carriage. Left foot stays on the wooden platform. We rotate both toes, so now they're facing our straps. I have my left toes, balls of my feet right on the edge of the wooden platform. And then I'm just gonna step my right foot a little further back just to make this a little heavier when I push out and in. Same thing with the arms. Both legs are gonna push. I'm gonna lift my arms back out to that T. And then I'm just gonna let my carriage come back in, focusing a lot on balance for this one. Push out, lift your arms out to a T, and then you can let the carriage just kind of slowly guide you back in. Again, I want deltoids and traps firing when those arms lift up. Not much work for the legs. The focus is more on our balance. We're gonna do 3 more. 2, and then last one, out and up, whoop, and then bring it back in. All right, now once we come back in, we're gonna fold forward, and I'm just gonna set my weights down in between my shoulder blocks. I'm going to come kneeling onto my reformer, and then once we kneel, if the weights are in the way, you can just move them, but I'm gonna keep them just on my carriage. I'm gonna grab my right strap into my right hand. Long loop is gonna be lighter for the arm. Short loop is gonna be heavier. If you need it even heavier than that, you can grip up onto the knotted part of the rope. Now, once you grab your strap in your right hand, we're gonna start shoulders over the hands, hips are right over the knees. I'm gonna take my right hand to the outside frame of the carriage. My palm is facing back. Shoulders, hips parallel to the floor. I'm exhaling to press my palm back to my hip, and then I'm inhaling to return back towards the floor. Press to the hip, return to the floor. I'm scooping into my abs here. And then if you wanna create a little extra challenge for your stability, you can reach your left leg behind you, and you can try to do this with the left leg extending. Just make sure, again, shoulders, hips stay parallel to the floor. Lats, triceps engaging on that press. Abs are in. I want to imagine if I have a string on the crown of my head, it's pulling the crown of my head forward. Now this next time I press to my hip, I'm going to hold, bending my elbow for my tricep press this time. I exhale to press my palm back, and I inhale to bend for that tricep extension. Again, it's up to you if your left leg is extended away from you or if your knee is down. If the leg is extended, think reach through your toes, lengthen through the crown of your head. We're gonna go for 2 and 1. All right, now once I come back, I'm gonna relax my knee down if it's up, and then we're gonna grab the strap a little higher. I'm gonna pull forward, put the short loop onto the arch of my right foot, and then I'm scooting just my knees a little further back, so I'm back into a 4-point kneeling, shoulders over the hands, hips over the knees. Now, if the wrists are an issue, you're dropping down onto your forearms, you're not on your wrists. We're gonna kick our right leg back 1 time, and we hold it here. I'm gonna dip my toes down towards the springs, and I lift my leg up. I dip down to the springs, I lift up. It's an inhale to dip, and exhale to lift. Again, abs are drawing in. We inhale, dip. We exhale to lift. We're squeezing our glute. Again, think lengthen through the crown of the head here. Dip, lift for 3, 2, last one. Now when I lift my leg, we're gonna pause with our legs up. We go slightly to the right side with the leg. Now we go down to the floor, to the outside frame of the carriage. We lift the leg up, it stays slightly right. We inhale to lower, we exhale to lift. I'm really feeling my right obliques now working to stabilize my upper half of my body. So when I dip and lift, my shoulders and my pelvis don't get pulled to the right. Down and lift. Inhale, lower, lift. Core, glutes, shoulders. This should be all over. We have 2 more. And last one. Bend the knee, relax back down. We're gonna take that strap off of our foot, and we're gonna go ahead and hang it back up. Okay, grab your weights into your hands. Once you grab your weights, I'm going to carefully stand with my left foot onto my carriage, my right foot on the wooden platform. I'm rotating towards the right side of the room, so we're setting up with our side splits facing the opposite direction. Again, the wider we have our feet, the more challenging for inner thighs. Arms are at our sides. We inhale to press out. We lift our arms out to a T, and we exhale to pull back in. Again, we want those inner thighs to fire as we pull in. Inhale out and up. Exhaling as we pull our carriages back in. Push and pull. Let's go ahead and do 4. Eyes should be looking straight forward and not down. Arms go out to that T, deltoids and traps. All right, last one, out, up, pull in. Okay, very carefully rotate back towards your carriage. Both toes should be pointed forward. My right toes are curled over the edge. I have my left foot further back towards me. I'm going to push out with both legs, lift my arms back out to that T, and I'm gonna bring my carriage back in. Again, the focus for this one is more balance. So we're pushing, lifting, and then pulling or resisting those springs. They're kind of just guiding us back in. I'm really feeling my shoulders work here. Out and up, and then bring that carriage back in. We're gonna go for 2 more. And then this will be the last one, out and up, and in. Okay, now once we come back in, very careful, I'm gonna fold forward. I'm just gonna set my weights down to where my shoulders would usually be. I'm gonna kneel on my reformer. My knees are further back. My right hand is on the outside of my headrest. I'm grabbing my left strap into my hand. Again, long loop light, short loop heavy. You can always grip up higher if you want it heavier. 4-point kneeling, left hand is at our side, palm is facing back. We start with those lats. We exhale to press our palm back. We inhale to return. Exhale, press to the hip. Inhale, return. Now, if you would like to challenge your stability a little more, can reach your right leg behind you and you can try to hold there. We're exhaling again to press. I'm reaching through my toes since my leg is up. My abs are scooped into my back. Exhale and inhale for 3. Feel those lats and triceps. 2. All right, on this last one, we hold that arm back, bend the elbow for our tricep extensions. Exhale, press. Inhale, bend. Exhale to press. Inhale, bend again for those triceps. Keep the elbow in. Again, right leg is either down or up. 3 and 1. Okay, once we relax, we're gonna take that long loop. It's gonna go into the arch of our left foot. Again, if the wrists are an issue, now would be a really good time to drop down onto those forearms. 4-point kneeling, we kick our left leg back. 1 time we hold. We dip the toes down towards the springs first. We lift up. We go to the springs, we lift. It's an inhale to dip and an exhale to lift back up. Again, I'm drawing my abs in, trying to keep my shoulders and hips parallel to the floor. Dip down, lift up, down, up. For 4, squeeze your booties. Okay, on this last one, we hold at the top, our leg goes slightly to the left, we go down to the floor, to the outside frame, and then we lift it back up. It stays slightly to the left, down and up. Again, we're really gonna feel our obliques working to help stabilize our torso when we lower and lift, down and up. I'm really feeling my core here. Let's do 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, we're gonna hang our strap back up onto the peg. We're just gonna set our weights off to the side. We're gonna stay kneeling on our reformers. Forearms are gonna go down in between our shoulder blocks. So not quite in our headrest, in between our shoulder blocks. My fists are more in my headrest than my elbows. Toes, balls of our feet should both be on the edge of our frame now. And then we're gonna go up into planks. So I'm gonna push my carriage out, hold my legs nice and long, abs are in. We're gonna tuck our pelvis, hike our hips to come in, and then we push out. We tuck, we pike on an exhale, we push back out. Abs are in. Tuck, pike, push out. We're gonna go for 2, and then last one. All right, bend the knees, carefully come back down. Feel free to give yourselves a little bit of a stretch. And then we're gonna go into squats. next. So forearms are down onto our carriage again. Toes, balls of our feet are on the edge of the frame. We push our carriage out one time. We hold to start. Okay, this time we bend the knees to come in. We exhale to stretch. Inhale, bend. Exhale, stretch. Abs again are in when we push those legs out. Bend for a squat, stretch. Bend for a squat, stretch. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. Okay, come down onto those knees. Again, feel free to give ourselves a little bit of a stretch back. And then the last thing that we're gonna do for this ab series will be elbow slides. So forearms down, toes are in the same spot. We lift the knees, we stretch our legs, we hold, the arms push the carriage away, they pull it in, they push it out, they pull it in. Range of motion is up to you, it's not that big. Out, in, abs in, legs long, butts down. 3, 2, 1, and in. Okay, once we come back in, we're gonna let our carriages go all the way home, open our knees wide, reach your left arm through your shoulder blocks, head rest. Take your right arm, thread the needle, it goes under your body. The palm should be rotated up to the ceiling. And I'm just trying to bring my right shoulder down onto the carriage to stretch. Then we're gonna switch. So right arm through our headrest, left arm threads under, the palm should be rotated up. Try to get your left shoulder down and breathe. All right, then we're coming back to the center. We're gonna sit ourselves off to the sides. Now, when we sit ourselves off to the sides, we're gonna go 2 heavy springs onto our reformer, and then we're gonna take that blue one off. Our foot bars are gonna go up to the starting position. All right, so 2 heavy springs. I'm actually gonna make it a little harder for myself today. I'm gonna add a light one as well. We're gonna do feet in straps. We're lying down and we are incorporating our weight, so just make sure that they're easily accessible or grab them and put them at your sides. So I have 1 light spring and 2 heavies on. If you don't want to go as heavy, you can just do the 2 heavies. I'm gonna reach behind me, grab my short loops. They're gonna go right onto my feet. Short loops, long loops onto my feet. Then once I get them there, I'm gonna grab my weights into my hands. My arms and legs are gonna go up towards the ceiling just as high as I can hold my neutral spine. And then we are going to go into a little external rotation. So heels together, toes are turned apart. And then my arms are gonna rotate slightly out to the sides. Legs and arms are gonna lower down to a little lower than a 45-degree angle. We hold here. I'm inhaling to open my arms and legs out to the sides of the room. I exhale to bring them back together. Inhale, open, exhale, close. Now, again, arms and legs should both stay in a little external rotation. So my palms are rotated slightly up to the ceiling. My toes are rotated slightly out to the sides. Inhale, open, exhaling as we close. And I'm trying to stay in that same plane as I open and close. Now, if the weights are too much, you can always ditch them. We want our adductors, our inner thighs firing. Again, we're gonna do 2 more. Inhale, open, exhale, close, last one. And then when we come back together, we're gonna relax our arms and we can just let our legs go out towards the ceiling and we can relax and stretch. Now, very similar this next time, but we're gonna move into an internal rotation. So arms and legs are up again just as high as we can hold our neutral. Internally rotate both. So toes are together, heels are turned apart, and then my palms are rotated just slightly down to the floor this time rather than up to the ceiling. Arms and legs go down to a little lower than a 45, same thing. They open and close. Range of motion obviously is a little smaller in that internal rotation. We should be getting more towards like the tops of the arms into the deltoids with our palms rotated towards the floor slightly. Inhale, open, exhale, close. Again, we want those inner thighs to fire. Again, if the weights are too much, ditch them. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, set the weights off to the sides. We're gonna finish off with some leg circles. So my legs are going up, again, just as high as I can hold my neutral spine, starting in my external rotation again. So heels are together, toes are turned apart. We're gonna lower the legs down towards our springs. We open them out to the sides, we circle around and back up. Make sure when you come up, you pause at the top, you're still in your external. Now we're gonna do 4 more circles in that direction in our external rotation. So we go down, we circle around and back up. We have 3. We're holding our neutral spine. We're holding that external rotation. Last one, then when we come up, we pause. We still have our external rotation and we reverse our circles. We open wide, we go down and around, we zip together, we hinge for 4 more. So 5 circles in each direction in our external rotation for 2 and 1. Now we're gonna do the same thing in our internal rotation, 5 in each direction, toes together, heels apart. We go down, we circle around and back up, toes together, down, around and up for 3. Again, these are gonna be a little smaller. Still holding your neutral spine. Last one, when we come up, we reverse. Feel those inner thighs. Keep the toes always pointed towards each other. Even when we open, we have 2 and 1. Pause at the top, bring the bottoms of the feet together, no neutral spine, pull into that butterfly stretch or push, whatever feels best in your bodies. Okay, we're gonna take our straps off of our feet, hang it back up onto the pegs. We're gonna sit off to the sides quickly just to change our springs, and we're lying back down. So I'm adding on a heavy spring with my existing 2 heavies and 1 light. So I have 3 heavy springs and 1 light spring on. We're gonna finish off with footwork, and it's up to you if you wanna go lighter than that with your springs or heavier. Nothing crazy today. We're just gonna push out and do some bridging with our weight. So we're gonna lie ourselves down. Headrests are going to be down, so if you do have your headrests up, headrests are gonna go all the way down. I'm gonna take my heels onto the foot bar, parallel with each other, sits bones distance away. Arms are gonna go straight up to the ceiling. My palms are rotated towards each other. I have like a micro bend to my elbows here, and then I'm gonna open my arms wide. Holding a neutral spine, I'm gonna exhale to push out my weights, go back up over my chest. I open my arms wide to come back in. Exhale out, inhale back. For 4, again, holding that neutral. 3, and 1. Okay, now once we come back in, we pause. Our arms are still open wide out to the sides of the room. We're moving into a bridge. I'm flattening my low back down. I'm rolling my spine up into a bridge. I hold 6. We're holding our bridge. We're gonna do 6 chest expansions. So we bring the weights back up over the chest. We inhale to open. For 5, inhale, open. We hold our bridge. We're squeezing our glutes and our hamstrings. Last one. Okay, now we add in a little dip of the hips. So this time when we open the arms, we lower the hips down in one piece. When we lift the arms, we lift back up in one piece. We go down in one piece, up in one piece, down in one piece, up in one piece. For 2 and 1. If you have cramps, stretch them. My left hamstring is cramping. Roll our spines all the way back down. Weights can go down to our sides. We go arches of our feet onto the foot bar. Again, feel free to stretch out those cramps. Arches of the feet on. Weights go up to the ceiling. Palms are rotated towards our foot bars this time. We bend our elbows wide at a 90. We push out 6 times with chest press. So we exhale to press. We reach the weights up to the ceiling. We bend wide as we come back in. Exhale out. Inhale back. Again, a neutral spine. Exhale, press. Inhale back. Last one. Now when we come in, we pause. Elbows stay bent at a 90. 1 bridge. We flatten, we roll up. We hold that bridge. Chest press 6 times. Exhale up. Inhale, bend wide. Exhale, press wide. Think send your tailbone to the backs of your knees. Squeeze your glutes and your hamstrings. Last one. Now we add in the dip of the hips. So as we bend our elbows, we lower the hips in one piece. As we extend the arms up, we lift up in one piece. For 5, push. 4, squeeze those glutes. 3, 2, 1, and then roll the spines down, relax. Again, feel free to stretch out those hamstrings for cramps. Last thing are our toes and balls of our feet. So all 10 toes are on the foot bar. Arms go up to the ceiling, palms are rotated towards each other. We bend the elbows for tricep extensions. Weight should be to the sides of your head. We push out, we extend the arms for triceps. We bend the elbows as we come back in for 5. Inhale back, exhale push for 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now once we come back in, elbows stay bent. Ready? We roll up into a bridge. We hold, we extend for 6. We bend, we extend for 5. We squeeze our glutes, we hold our bridge for 2 and 1. Okay, now pause at the top. Ready? This time when we bend the elbows, we lower the hips down in one piece. We lift and extend in one piece. We lower in 1, we lift for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now once we come up, we pause, we roll all the way back down into the mat into a neutral spine. Our arms go down to our sides. Our toes stay on the foot bar. We push out one time, we hold, going into a run with alternating bicep curls. I'm keeping my palms rotated towards each other. If you want to rotate them up to the ceiling, you can. Again, run with alternating bicep curls at your own pace. 3, 2, 1, and pause. All right, set those weights off to the sides. We're gonna lower our heels underneath the foot bar. Stay for a nice calf and Achilles stretch there. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, then I'm gonna keep my legs, or keep my heels down, but I'm just gonna find a micro bend to my knees to stretch out my calves a little more. Okay, then we can bend our knees fully, bring our carriages all the way in. We're gonna sit off to the sides of our reformers. We are all finished with that class. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me today.